something new. We thought so. SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same. SVP TV, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP. Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why? We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP TV. Tune in to Talking Law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill and the special guest host, Attorney Jerome Payne. Live TV talk on your digital device on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question, our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neill. I'm your host. My main man, Jerome, with me.
What's up, Daryl?
Hey, man, another day in the neighborhood.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, Daryl.
Gotta say, Facebook Live, if you are watching and paying attention, you can get on the line, call us up, and we'll answer your questions.
Yeah.
Man, y'all keep missing out, man. I don't know why.
I don't understand it.
But you can do the same thing if you have Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, or the SVP TV app.
Yes.
You can do it with all of those things too. So let's give our shout outs. Welcome to California. I got another fan, and my son's back in California now. So you know, California. Welcome to Little Rock, Arkansas. Welcome to West Memphis, Arkansas. Welcome to Shelby County, Memphis. Welcome to Mississippi.
Right.
And Mom, welcome to the great state of Missouri.
All right.
All right now. So we spent the last show, and we started off, talking about contractors.
That's right.
'Cause that's what we were talking about. And, we digressed a little bit.
Well, somewhat.
Yeah, but
we'll start talking about the rights of citizens and those kinds of things, and emotionally,
Yeah.
we wanted to make sure that we gave that its due.
Absolutely. So let's backtrack, Jerome.
Okay, sounds good, Daryl.
A contract and a contractor is our basic contract, issue.
Yeah.
We look at a document, we try to develop a document, and whatever's in the four corners of that document becomes what controls the scenario.
I like that. Yeah.
What always goes wrong with getting contractors to do work on people's property, you don't get that document. So how can you expect a contractor to do certain things when you don't have a document that controls the terms of that contract?
In fact, you're absolutely right, because there's always something in the law called meeting of the minds. So there's no way to tell whether the minds actually met when there's no way to literally look at it to see and determine that. So that's why a writing of some type is important. However, I took the side of the homeowner. However, based on course of dealings, many times we can decipher possibly what was in the minds of the individuals, but there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to convince the court of that.
Right. And see, and here's the thing here's why this is bad, Jerome. When things don't go right, you got to go to somebody to look at it and determine who was wrong or who was the reason things didn't go right.
Because and also you're absolutely right, because in order for there to be a controversy, someone has to have done something wrong, so to speak.
Right.
It's not criminal, but the fact that you fail to perform creates this controversy that requires someone to settle for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And where people always, here's what always happens, man. Somebody will say, the contractor did this job, and you can look at it, and it's horrible.
Right.
and because it's this horrible job, then, the contractor breached.
Yeah, that's good because it doesn't require a whole lot of extra material or information because the naked eye can tell you that this is not a performance that's satisfactory. It did not reach the minimum amount of satisfaction. Not just because they didn't create a mansion for you,
Yeah.
you see,
Right.
that may not be the defaulting condition, but if the job is so terrible, the painting is chipping, the carpentry is just terrible, and you can see all different kinds of materials and all that kind of stuff, that would be a very good case to just to settle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and let me just tell you how, even when you have something as simple as you can look at it and see that it's a horrible job, the question becomes, first off, what did the contractor agree to do? Okay. Number two, when did the contractor do it? Did anybody come in between the time you showed me that
I like that.
and when the contractor left? So you have to prove, because you got to connect all these dots.
I like that.
What I always tell my contractor clients is this, and I never understand that some of them don't even do this, man, which to me is my harsh words again, Jerome, idiotic. To me, it's idiotic to not have pictures of the beginning,
I like that. Before.
the before,
Yeah.
the during,
Yes.
and the after.
And in fact, that's marvelous because you ought to be able to stagger your payments based on performance.
Right.
So very early on, you can tell whether you got somebody who's going to perform or not.
Yeah.
Because if they fail to meet the different landmarks that you set out, then that tells you that this contract is going awry.
Yeah, I mean, I need to see, the first step is,
Yes.
and so if you're a contractor and you're saying that I did good work and this person owes me money for the work that I did, prove it,
Yes.
okay? Then you're the professional. The homeowner is not the professional. It's the contractor that's professional. So the first thing is, in order to be a professional, you got to have a license.
That's right.
So if you are going to do work that's in excess of $3,000, you got to have a license.
Right. Right.
That's just straight Tennessee law. It's
Right.
statute. It's by statute.
And me as the homeowner, I can rely on the fact that the state of Tennessee has given you a license
Right.
that at least you have reached the minimum qualifications to do my job.
Right.
Right.
So that's number one.
That's right.
So I need to look at that. But then the thing is, if I'm going to give the contractor half up front, and or if I'm going to get a contractor increments of payment, I need to protect myself if the contractor runs off with my money. I need to protect myself if the contractor does a horrible job and I got to get it redone. I need to protect myself, shucks, if the contractor dies.
That's exactly right.
So the only way I can do that is I have to get a bond. So if the contractor doesn't provide you with a performance bond, that should raise some flags, number one. But even if it doesn't raise a flag, there's no reason for you not to go and drum, you hit this on the head. There's no reason for you not to go get your own performance
That's
bond.
exactly right.
I'm gonna get me a performance bond. So if this guy don't do what he's supposed to do, then I'm gonna be covered.
Exactly right. And there are also too, if it sounds too good to be true, then more than likely it's not true. So if a contractor tells they can complete a job because they're notorious about giving you a timeline, and then coming back and then extending the timeline. Now, what you could possibly do by allowing that, you might be able to waive your remedies because you did not hold them to the contract, or say that I'm waiving this particular time, but does not mean that I've waived the entire contract. What do
Well,
you think about that, Daryl?
The problem with time and contracts is those two don't go together.
Okay,
I'm sorry, time and construction contracts, those two don't go together.
okay.
The way I understand the law to say, Drummond, you may, say you're a veteran, the way I understand the law to say on a contract is, if you don't have specific language in a contract that says it's going to be done this date and time is of the essence.
Okay. Okay.
Because time, you have to have time is of the essence in the contract, or it's assumed that contractors, issues happen. You know, they have, time, permits, so on and so forth. Issues happen.
Well, I think that that you're right, but I think that unless it's an act of God, something that could not have been foreseen, then more than likely a reasonable amount of time is what everybody's looking at. What's reasonable? Is it reasonable you take a year to add a deck?
Well,
Is that reasonable or not?
Well, I think the short answer is no.
Right.
But if you don't
But you
have,
don't specifically say that.
yeah, I mean, because
I got you.
because I think there's case law that specifically says if you don't have time is of the essence in the contract, you can't hold the contract
Well,
at the time.
that's my understanding. Time is of the essence means that you are strictly going to be timing them.
Absolutely.
Not that it reduces or determines the amount of time. It just tells you that I want this done in this specific amount of time. But time is of the essence is language we use all the time. So
Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't use the language.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I know I
agree.
want this job done by the 4th of July,
I
because I'm
agree.
going to have a 4th of July party,
I agree.
then I'm going to put in my contract, I need this done by July 4th or before July 4th. So it needs to be done no later than July 3rd. Time is of the essence
I agree.
because I got a party that's going to go on July the 4th.
I agree.
And if you don't do this, I can't have my party, and it's going to be detrimental to me.
But also, I'm just thinking in my mind too, Daryl, that I don't know that I'm troubled somewhat because there's no way to get another contractor in or somebody else to finish the job because you gave them all the way up until the deadline that you got what I'm saying?
No.
Do you see
I
what
was
I'm saying?
probably, yeah, you don't want to give
No,
up to the date before.
That was concerning me.
Yeah,
quite a
yeah.
bit.
I was just giving a hypothetical,
I got you.
not in reality.
Right, I got
Because you want to be thinking this thing through.
That's right.
That
What
you know,
if something goes wrong?
what if something go wrong?
That's right.
I
And
mean,
time is of the essence.
time is of the
I
essence. So
got
you
you,
need
yeah.
to tell this contractor what it is that you're trying to do.
Right.
And look, you don't want to try to get a deck done a week before that you need it done.
Exactly.
Because we got supplies, we got all kinds of things that's gonna could go awry. So that's not
exactly
something
right.
you want to do.
Yeah. There was an interruption in the supply chain,
Mm-hmm.
and the materials had risen in price, or they're stuck on the dock due to a railroad strike.
Mm-hmm. Right,
You see what I'm saying?
right.
But now it's been cleared up, and I can now perform.
Right.
Because of the right to cure.
Right. And that's the other thing.
Yeah.
You know, if the contractor does a bad job and you're not satisfied with it, you have to identify the issues that you have. You know, so, hey, you finished. Okay, I'm not satisfied with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When can you come and fix this? Because you got to give them an opportunity to fix their mistakes.
And we call that a punch list.
Yeah.
You and the contractor will review the job and determine what things are not to your satisfaction. However, I don't know if the homeowner is able to determine whether the job meets the minimum standards or not. I think you'd have to have another expert probably there, wouldn't you?
Well, in order to sue the contractor, yeah,
Right.
but not to establish whether or not the job you're satisfied.
I got you.
I mean, if I tell you to come in and paint,
Okay.
and I look at the wall that you finished painting, and it's got all these lines in it, and it's all messed up, I'm not satisfied.
Or you
with
can
it.
see that the paint was running or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, I'm
But-
not satisfied with that.
But some
fix
jobs
that.
require more than one coat.
Absolutely. So
The
I want you to
contractor's
fix
able
it.
to determine.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
So
you.
I'm going to say to you, I don't need an expert for that.
That's right, I agree.
Because I paid you to paint, and when you finish, you got paint all on my floor,
I
paint
agree.
all on my wall, paint all everywhere.
And I just thought about something else too there. Who is responsible for moving furniture? Is that a part of my job is to move furniture? Or are you required to give me a workspace that is free and clear for me to work? Or do I have to cover your furniture?
Yeah.
Who decides that? That's a part of the writing that we're talking about,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. You should have that.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on, like, I had a floor put in one time
Okay.
in one of my houses rather. And, you know, my furniture was there. I ain't moving nothing.
Right.
You know, either you can do it or you can't do it. So I'm expecting you to move the furniture to do everything else. Because, dog, if I'm going to be moving furniture and putting things up here, and you know what? I don't need you.
Well, sometimes a contractor will say, am I going to have to move the furniture,
Yeah.
or are you going to remove
Yeah.
the furniture?
Yeah.
So that might change the price somewhat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah.
and you might can save $1,000
Oh, yeah.
by
Oh, yeah.
moving the furniture.
You correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Right.
Because when they do carpet,
Right.
a lot of times they do carpet in rooms that are already furnished.
That's right.
And they'll tell you, you know, we'll move things around. And man, those guys you know, I got to tell you, they're pretty impressive.
No question.
I mean, I don't know how they get the carpet so nice. And I think some of those guys probably prefer furniture to be there, man,
Right.
because they get that thing nice and tight, and they'll move furniture from one side of the room and lay the carpet and pad it.
Exactly.
And then once they get it rolled to a certain point, then they move the furniture to the other side and just go. And I'm like, man, I'm always amazed to see them do that because it's pretty
Well,
smooth.
that's a professional
yeah,
job.
they do.
And that's what you should be. You should be impressed
Yeah.
with how the
Yeah.
work is done,
Right.
because he or she is a professional.
Right, right. No. That's what I like. I mean,
Right.
that's you're right. That is an impressive thing
Yeah.
when you see a professional, you know, do their job.
Right.
So, you know, these are the things that when you're putting that together, that you want to make sure that you get there. Because
Yes.
if you know, we start off with a contract and we don't have one. So what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do?
That's a good point to go back to, because it can be very simple to do it. It doesn't require any fancy language or board feet, because you may not understand how many board feet or square feet.
I don't know any of that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can say, we have contracted for you to do X, Y, and Z. And so that's called an offer, right? And then what? You do what?
Well,
The acceptance.
the acceptance,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
And then the consideration is always a part of a contract.
Right.
Passes when the person does what they're claiming they're going to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it doesn't take much to put this writing together. Again, and you said, well, there, you know, if it's going to be, no, it's not. It's not any different if you're going to build a house.
That's right.
I mean, if I want to build a house, you know, I want a house that I can live in. I want 3 bedrooms. I want the bedrooms to be, you know, I want them to be big enough to put a king size, each bedroom big enough to put a king size bed
Right,
in it.
right.
And to have, you know, a dresser and, you know, a chest of drawer
Right.
and a chair in it.
Right.
You know.
Right. And you want a master. You want one of the rooms to be.
Yeah. Well, no, I want each bathroom. I want each bedroom to have a bathroom.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm telling you all of this,
Yes,
right? Because
right.
you know,
I like that.
You know, I don't know what it looks like.
Right.
I'm just telling you, you're gonna make me 3 bedrooms, with each bedroom having its own bathroom.
I like that.
I want the bedrooms to be big enough to put a California king bed in
Okay.
it. That I want to have a chest of drawer. You know, I want to be able to have a chair, a sitting area in it.
Right.
You know, and I want each room to have at least two windows.
Okay.
You know, I want, you know, so, or I want each one of them to have at least one window.
I like that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then I want to have a bathroom. If you're gonna make this a 2-story home,
Is it a half bath or a full bath?
I want to have a half bath.
bath.
Yeah, I want to have a bathroom that doesn't have a shower.
I like that.
Because I don't even know what half or full is, right?
Right.
I want a bathroom that has going to have a toilet
Right.
and something to wash their hands with.
Okay.
Okay, on the first floor. So then people don't get to use my bathroom.
Right.
And if any guests are staying, each guest, the master bedroom, each bedroom has their own bathroom. So they're going to have their own full bathroom with the shower tub and all that other stuff. And then I want to have one of those half baths on each floor.
I like that. Okay.
You know, so I am really telling you what I want. I want a kitchen, I want a living room, I want a dining room, I want the open space that I can see from one end of the house to the other end of the house, right? You know, I don't know nothing else.
Right.
I don't know none of this.
Right.
So I'm writing all this down on a piece of paper, and then now you got to come up with an architect
That's right.
because you're the contractor.
That's right. That's right.
You say, okay, well, I'm not really sure what that's going to cost you, but check this out. I got to hire an architect, and a plan is going to cost you, $500 or $1,000. Okay, make it happen.
I like
You
that.
know, and you say, well, how many square foot do you want the house? Well, I want the house to have 3,000, 4,000 square foot. I want it to be big enough where I can hide in the house. You know what I'm saying? So you're telling the contractor these things that you want.
And also too, there are most cities, counties, and whatever require that you have a certain amount of land in order to build a house of 3,000. Is it an acre and a half, or something like that?
I don't know this. I don't know any of that.
Yeah, but you have to have a certain amount of real estate in order to do it, because you got to have an ingress, egress, and all that kind of stuff, and parking and stuff, and about the plumbing,
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So it can become very complicated.
It is going to be complicated, but that ain't my point.
I got you.
My point is, this is what I want.
Do it. Let's get it done for me.
And then, so you're going to come up with the plan, right? And then I'm going to pay you for the plan.
Right.
And then once you give me the plan, then I'm going to say, well, how much is it going to cost to do this?
Well, then also the city has to come out too. And
No, the plan is going to be, the architect, he's got to get that plan
You
approved.
got to
anyway.
get approved first before he can even bring it back to you
Correct.
and say, this is okay.
Correct.
I got you.
So when you give me that approved the plan,
Right.
I got a plan that's been approved for my piece of land, right?
Right.
Now the question, the only thing that happens now is how much is it going to cost for you to build that house, and how much time is it going to take?
Right, I like that.
Because now we don't have, this, we got the specifications, because this is just specs. This is just building a house. This ain't got nothing to do with hardwood floors versus carpet,
Right.
ceramic versus, wood.
Right.
None of that's in there. The amenities are not in there. Stainless steel versus, everyday modern, so none of that's in there.
Got you.
That all comes when we start looking at the particulars.
And what I want bay windows. I want this type of window. And also, I thought about what about you didn't have anything about closet space.
Yeah.
You didn't have any closet walk-in
Yeah,
closet
yeah.
in one of the main.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I don't need to know any of that.
But throw the whole kitchen sink out there and then let the architect come back
Yeah,
and tell you
yeah,
what you
I-
can
yeah.
do and what it's going to cost
Yeah.
to get it done. Yeah.
Or if you want, you got one room. I got one room. Okay. Hey man, I don't like this room. Okay. I don't like this carpet. I want you to take the carpet out and put hardwood floors in. Then I want you to take the wood floors out, and then I want you to put crown molding all around.
Oh yeah.
I don't want the drop ceiling. I want it to be, I want
Vaulted.
a vaulted
Yeah,
ceiling,
vaulted, I
or
like
give me
that.
as much height as you can give me in
I
the
like
ceiling.
that, yes.
So now you got to look at it and say, well, what about the lights? Do you want recessed lights versus track lighting, or you want can lightings?
I like
So
that, yeah.
so when we finish that room, right? You say, okay, well, the room is this large.
Go ahead.
The room is this large,
Right.
and if we take these floors out and put these floors in, these floors are going to cost you this amount per square foot. To do the crown molding is going to cost you this much per square foot. The paint is going to cost you this much per square foot, and the total package is going to be this much.
I was just wondering about that. Do you think it's wise to talk about what your budget is before you
Absolutely.
send it out? Say,
Absolutely.
this is the budget I have.
Yeah.
So what can I get within that budget?
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
sure
I mean, you can bid
in
it.
the confines.
You
yeah.
can bid it,
Yeah.
and again, you can do all of that. You can
Yes.
bid it, or you can actually say, hey, this is.
I like that.
Yeah, because, typically, whatever your budget is, you got to throw in a little bit of money, because the contractor will always come up with something that's going to be latent,
Inevitably, they're
a
going to find
defect,
some changes.
or some changes that
Change
need to be-
orders, that's what
Change
they call it,
orders.
yeah.
That's what they call it, change order.
Yeah.
When I pulled this wall down, there was a latent defect behind the wall.
Right.
I didn't see that.
Right.
So all of that's got to be a part of that process.
For sure.
So, that's kind of the things that you want to look at.
And don't forget to research the contractor
Right.
that you choose.
Right.
Look at their reviews.
Right.
Look at what they've done.
Right.
Let them bring you a portfolio
Yeah.
and say, this is what I've done.
Right.
And then it makes it a lot easier when you
Yeah,
know
and
what you're
those
looking at.
guys, a good contractor, again, they are going to have a portfolio from beginning to the end.
Yes,
Because they want to brag.
that's right.
Hey, this is what this bathroom looked like before I did it.
Right.
You know, this is what it looks like now. So they gave you the before and the after.
Right.
And you go, I like that.
Mhm.
You know, now they ain't gonna tell you what all the little defects and all of the other stuff, but they, you know, I can get you from beginning to the end. So when you're a contractor, if you don't have the beginning pictures and you don't have the end pictures, or when you stop working or when the client fires you or whatever that case may be, you're not gonna be able to establish what your work look like.
That's right.
So to me, it is absolutely amazing when people don't have pictures of the beginning, the middle, and the end. Because
And everybody has a cell phone today, so it's really no excuse for it.
It's
It
not.
used to be you had to take pictures, send them out to be
Yeah,
developed,
yeah.
and all that kind. But now you got your cell phone, and you can do the whole
oh
thing.
my goodness,
on
or your
phone.
iPad or any of the
That's
other stuff. There's
exactly
just
right.
no reason for it.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if you're not doing those things as a contractor and you're not getting a writer as a written document as a homeowner, both of y'all wrong.
Yes.
You know, that's just, and if you don't walk with a contract because it's somebody that you have a substantial relationship with, again, you're teetering on thin ice, but it's understandable.
Yes.
All right,
Because
y'all.
you see it all the time there. You see it all the time.
Yeah,
People,
yeah.
even after this show tonight, somebody is still going to wind up doing exactly what we told them not to do.
say, Daryl, can you help me?
Right.
Yeah, can you help me? All right, y'all. Thank you for watching the show. We'll bring you back a new topic next week.
Looking for something new? Who thought so? SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same. Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why?
Ladies, do you feel feminine during your feminine flow? You know, your monthly cycle, your period? Are you still suffering in silence? The suffering is over. It's time to choose Rain.